Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am training back pull. I've just got to the gym. It is 10 a.m, perfect timing. I've had 2 meals. I'm going to take you through my back session today, hopefully film some bits and also talk over what I do, why I do it, what's been working for me this past kind of off season, because I made some good improvements to the back. To be fair, it was a weak point, still is, but you know, I've made progress, which is what matters. We've moved in the right direction. So yeah, just got to the gym, checked in this morning with Jack. Actually, it is commencing week number 3 of prep, so 14 weeks out. Very exciting. I suppose I'll put up some photos here or something. I've discovered that you watch YouTube videos like this, so obviously this is why the camera's like this, and hopefully you can actually see me whilst photos are up. So yeah, checked in this morning at 228 pounds, which is over 10 pounds lighter than when we started 2 weeks ago. So yeah, things are trending down, slowed down a touch compared to last week. Obviously that initial big drop is done. But yeah, about 3 or 4 pounds down this week. Don't feel it, just feel really good. Happy with where I'm at. Jack, my coach, if you can guess, has reduced the food again. It was about 4.2k training days, 3.8 or something non-training days. It's now down to 3.6 thousand calories on training days. I can put the macros on the screen, and like 3.2 thousand calories on rest days, which is fun. Still running the same split, which I don't know if I mentioned is starting on Tuesdays. So Tuesday back and hamstrings, like deadlifts. Wednesday push and arms. Friday today is pull, so back and biceps. Saturday leg day tomorrow, and Sunday is upper for upper body session. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what's been working for me. Weird rest days, I know, but it just works best for employment reasons, work. But yeah, I'll take you through. I need to drink my pre-workout. I'm here. It is not so hot anymore, luckily, but the weather is still, it's good in the UK, really good. But I'm glad that the heat wave is over. I survived just about, because I'm not very good with the heat at all. So yeah, this is more like it. It's much better. So yeah, I will see you guys in the gym. Yes guys, we are back. Just finished training. Very good session, pull, as I said, and now I'm gonna run you through what I do, the full session breakdown, why I do it. I'll show you the clips and talk through kind of the form, the rationale behind. Obviously this is why this is programmed for my coach. So we'll start macro and get into the exercises. I've just had my post-workout, the usual. But yes, so first of all, regarding the split, I've ran that for like 2 years since I stepped off stage in 2023. Basically, I have a rest day, then I do back and hamstrings, deadlifts. Then my next rest day after that, I do this session. So first of all, if a body part is a priority for you, it could be smart, and it may work well for you to put it after a rest day, because then you're going to have the most energy, your body's going to be ready and prepared. You also might just really be fucking looking forward to going to the gym after rest day. That's me. I hate rest days. Boring. I find them boring. So after the rest day, I'm like, yes, I get to train. Then amplify that effect by, yes, I love to train back. If you love to train something, you're going to train it harder, you're going to train it better, just going to be better overall, right? And I do back 3 times a week, bear in mind. So this session, dedicated pull, obviously lots of back volume. And then the other back and hamstring workout is mostly back, actually probably more than this, more taxing predominantly. And then the upper session, there's a bit of back, 3 exercises. One of them is a superset, sorry, so a bit less. And I actually start that session with the push now, because I've been experimenting. So bear all that in mind, as this may not apply to you. It works best for me, but it doesn't mean it's going to work for you necessarily. So with that theme, two of my back workouts, well, the two dedicated back workouts, I begin with the single arm lat pull down. I do 2 variations across the week, obviously. Today I did this variation, which magically appears through the power of editing, getting along with the cable. So I use the cable with a bench setup, pretty standard. You can do this anywhere, any gym really. I use the actual lat pull down setup just because it's nice and heavy. I've experimented, there's great pull downs in my gym, really, there is plate load and stuff. And I did used to use the hammer strength. The supinated grip just really upset my shoulder over time, probably because I'm doing so much back volume, just battering my shoulder. Otherwise it's a great exercise, but for me this one works. It's great, it's braced, I can brace against the pad. The cable offers perfect tension, consistent tension throughout, and the angle, the way I've angled it, kind of stepping back, getting that kind of diagonal path, which means if you think about how the lats run, if you kind of lean your body forward in the same way and the lats run up, like diagonally up towards the cable, lining that up gets a great feel. So what I'm doing is I'm bracing, I'm trying to keep my shoulders square. We do single arm because it can actually make it quite easy. It might make it much easier for you to connect with the lats, because you can kind of squeeze into it, get the rib cage tucked and work into that one spot, which can be pretty hard unless you have a very good machine to do with both arms at once, right? So first of all, and also more focus per side gives you more kind of ability to apply that stimulus to that one side one at a time, if you know what I mean. So we do that. Working into the hip is the cue, the elbow into the hip and dragging, pushing this fist away from my body to kind of keep my shoulder blade down and keep that tension in the lat as I stretch. So if I were just to let my arm go, my shoulder blade might move, and I'm transferring all that tension onto the muscles at the back of the shoulder, the mid back, the upper back, all this shit. So we're trying to keep the shoulder blade down and scoop up, this kind of arcing motion of the elbow. Really good, I love this exercise, it's so good. And first exercise, because lats can be hard to train, especially the lower lats, which is kind of, we're trying to really get in there, get to the lats all across the back, so they expand, they're the biggest muscle in the back, so we're trying to get them into the hip. Where we get that elbow is going to kind of, it's elbow into spine really, but hip, because obviously you can't touch your spine with your elbow because your body's in the way. Your spine is kind of concealed by flesh, hopefully. So yes, we do that, and then so 2 sets there. I do spend my time warming up there, so 2 sets, a top set and a back off set. Top set will be heavier, that's the one I filmed, which hopefully you have seen, and the back off set will be a bit lighter, back off in the way, but hopefully get some more reps. Especially with lat training, I like to get kind of minimum. You don't want to, if you fall too short on the reps, you might actually struggle to connect with the back, because it might take you a few reps to actually find your lat and get the tension there. With this exercise, it's really good to target the lat, so I get it soon. But yeah, not trying to go too low with the rep ranges. Obviously not ego lifting, because we want to keep the targeted we want to keep the tension on the target muscle. There will be exercises where the weight we might focus on more, for example the next exercise, which I'll talk about. So yeah, 2 sets there, probably 3 warm-up sets, 2 working sets, very nice. And then second movement, moved on to barbell rows, which, as I said, this is more about kind of moving the weight, just getting the intensity and the tension onto the back, and then just attacking it with a lot of weight. That being said, this very much ums and ers with, so week to week, the weight I choose this exercise may kind of vary. I'm not so fixated on progressing like that logbook and like I have to get more weight, I have to get more reps, because so many muscles are involved and a lot of technique involved. In fact, momentum, as you can see, my form breaks down, my hips shift, I'm using my legs, I might raise my back more or less depending on the reps. So if I were to just keep progressing the weight, which I have done in the past, you can get up to heavy weights, but then you may be defeating the point of the exercise. You're losing the tension on the back, and also you want to get some reps. Like for example, this feels fucking like heavy, feels like I'm going through good motions. Then I watched the video and I actually had the weight in my hand for like 21 seconds, right? So it's all about being conscious, not being too greedy with progressions. Like you want to be strong, but realistically, right now for me, 120 is kind of nice. I probably will start to reduce that just because this set, the reps were quite low. But yeah, probably 2 warm-ups here, 2 working sets, 120 and 100 kilos. Felt good, and mind you, the second set for this always feels better, which is probably a sign, right, that the lighter weight is more suited to target the back as prep goes on, and I get very dieted down, energy becomes low. This is definitely one of those exercises where I will be much more sensible with the weight. But moving on, after that, we proceeded on to another lat movement, single arm lat row on the Cybex Eagle. Absolute amazing piece, so good. Just one warm up set here because I'm so dialed by this point. This machine is like foolproof way to train your lats, right? So single arm again, because just the way the machine works, the handles kind of diverge. If you were to do two together, unless you're like fucking 2 meters wide, which unfortunately I'm not, I wish I was, by the time you've got the handles back, your elbows would be quite far away. And right, we want to train the lats, so we want to keep our elbow tucked in close to the spine and close to the body. So I'm just shifting my whole body. I'm still using the pad and the brace to keep my spine nice and neutral to train the lat. But yeah, I'm moving to the side so that kind of handle is tracking where I want it to. It's going through the lats, through the elbow, no kind of ins or outs involved. This machine is especially good because the handle kind of articulates up and down in this way, even though it stays on a pendulum track kind of thing. But what it means is you can really actively push down into it. So same cue as before, when we're pulling forward, even though I'm letting that stretch go and letting the weight take my muscle, doing it slowly, but I'm actively pushing down to keep my shoulder blade down, to keep my lat on the weight. And then when I pull, same thing, I'm also pulling down. And because of the way the machine works, just by pulling down, it's going to come towards you. This is fucking phenomenal. I love this machine. So good. I'm really spoiled for choice with it when it comes to rows like this at Phoenix Hove. So shameless plugging the gym. Very good gym. I do work there, so I guess it's a shameless plug. But yes, moving on. Sorry, I did 2 sets there, 1 warm up, 2 sets similar setup. I also may have done a cheeky rest pause, just because it feels so good on the second set. Just kind of rack the weight, wait a few seconds, deep breaths, and then just rip it again. Get that, really finish off that lat. Works very nicely. And then on to the next exercise, we had the prime seated row, plate loaded again. This is kind of the mid back, upper back exercise I do. So my elbows are a bit higher, they're away from my body, which will target more of that mid upper back. This is also a very good piece because you can do the variable loading, which means by this time in the session, I can put more of that weight onto the top peg, which means I'll really be challenging the lengthened portion, the muscle in the lengthened portion. So yeah, I put the weight there, and even on the drop set, I make that even more exaggerated. On the back off set, sorry, make that even more exaggerated. So I'm really finishing off that back stretching. Keep the chest up here. Kind of the pad is almost in the belly rather than the chest, and I might be a bit more upright compared to the lat movements because I'm trying to keep make my rib cage tall and proud so that my shoulder blades can move backwards and forward. However, that does not mean you lean forward or lean back as you row. Your spine stays where it is. You can be a bit more upright, but you're kind of pulling through your shoulder blades. There is what moving. In the past, I used to make the mistake of kind of just like rolling my spine forward to get my shoulder blades more forward, aka my arms further forward, but not actually my shoulder blades. And this can be something that kind of led to an injury, or just like a repetitive strain, irritation on my rotator cuff and things like that. So I've refined that. It feels very, very good. So yeah, as I said, the back offset moved more of that weight to the top, and yeah, sensational movement indeed. And the next exercise, final kind of pulling rowing movement, was the prime pull down. I did this also for the kind of upper back, mid back. So again, flared elbows, working my shoulder blades up and around my rib cage, trying to really let them go, keep the tension. And I loaded it similarly to the other one. This was really, really good. I had done this on cables previously, but when they're not free, as of today, I did it on the prime lat pull down. Very, very good. And also the handles do articulate like a D handle, as I would usually use, which means I can really get my elbows very fluid. The movement's very fluid. It feels very good. Focusing on that squeeze and that stretch to finish off the kind of back in its entirety. And then finally actually finish with shrugs. At the moment doing dumbbell, well, I've done dumbbell all the time. I just find because because your hands are, you're holding the dumbbell rather than a barbell, you have a bit more free motion. Your elbows and shoulders may not be restricted. And actually, something I learned from a very professional bodybuilder who goes to Luca, is he kind of does this technique where it's where you pull back. You don't just pull up, because then you'll just work your neck, your traps, your upper traps, but obviously the traps are quite a big muscle. They span your whole back. So we're trying to get that full kind of protraction, retraction. So actually I use the dumbbells and kind of lean forward, sit on the bench, leaning forward a bit, letting my shoulders roll forward, forward and down, because I'm laying back. And then when I shrug, I'm kind of shrugging back and up. I might finish with like a mechanical drop set, where you change the mechanics of the exercise to make it easier. So it's like a drop set. It's like dropping the weight, except you're changing the mechanics to drop the weight. So what I do this on my second set, I did then stand more upright and then start shrugging up, just upwards, because that is easier than doing it the other way around. The other way around is pretty savage. Did about 30 kilo dumbbells, nothing crazy, because I don't want to fuck up my shoulders, because they're very fragile when I train back this much. Very prone to getting beaten up with all these pulling movements. So yeah, amazing session. Forgot to mention, I always start with calves because I want big calves. Well, I have very long legs, so I need calves. Otherwise my legs are gonna look even longer than they actually are. And then followed that with some kind of prehab stuff I always do, especially before training back, which includes foam rolling my back. Feels really fucking good. And also just some scapular warming up movements, some really light stuff, which feels very, very good. But yeah, that is my back session. One of my back sessions, what I do to improve my back, what I have done to improve my back. I'm very happy with the progress I've made with this muscle group. I feel like I've really learned a lot and matured in my training approach with this. I put that down to, of course, my coach, all his advice, and also training it 3 times a week. To an extent, training and applying the tension where you want it. So if you're doing training back, you want it in your back, you don't want it on your biceps, in your forearms, and the wrong parts of your back, for example. You want that bias where it's meant to be. Doing it more often will improve your ability to do that. So to an extent, it is a skill. If you want to get good at something, do it a lot, practice it. So by doing it a lot, I've gotten better. And yeah, I felt like I've really benefited from that. So yeah, that is my back session explained. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So I'll say like, subscribe and whatever, but I'm probably the only one watching this, and I think I can subscribe to myself. If I could have, I definitely would have by now, so I don't need to tell myself that. But yeah, like your own video, Theo. Anyone else watching it, like it if you like it. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.